So, hey, it's midnight on the 21st, and on my way back on this road trip back home, and we're just a little north of Knoxville. I guess the news for today is that I found out that we had a really bad review for the play, just a really bad review. I mean, like a crash and burn kind of a review. And in some ways, it really doesn't surprise me. What Robin did with my story was really ambitious, much more ambitious. He's trying to create, he and his wife Liz, a much more ambitious play than my story is. My story is a really very simple, straightforward, legendary tale. And they've just tried to layer it with all kinds of meaning. I think they pulled it off. I've sat through it twice now. The first night, to almost full house, and they seemed to genuinely enjoy it. Yes, the audience was about half friends and family, and oh, by the way, isn't that a nice creatively entrepreneurial lesson to learn? And that is that when you're starting a creative project and when you're first bringing your creative product to the market, it's nice to have influencers to shape the thoughts of the others. So yes, half the audience was friends and family, and maybe that half of that audience that was so predetermined to like the work influenced the other half of the audience. But I felt like I was with an audience that really was enjoying it. The second night, a much smaller audience, and really not a hand-selected friends and family audience at all. A small audience, some really important people in the audience, they seemed to enjoy it. But Robin tried to do something really ambitious, and when you try to do something really ambitious, not everyone's going to like it. And you're not necessarily going to accomplish what you're trying to accomplish right away. And the nice thing about theater is it is dynamic. It is one of those creative products that you get to continually improve. So we're going to work at making this a better show. I had some notes that I wrote while I was driving today. Oh, the other thing that happened today. My attorney, Jim Interlandi in Chicago, has emailed me the documents to close the deal, or to raise some money from Minogi. We've got an angel investor who's excited about what we're doing. We hope in the next 30 days to close our first angel round. And so I've got the documents coming my way to review that we can to review before we send them on to his attorney. An interesting thing maybe to share with you about our first round deal, our angel round. I've promised you that we're going to try to give you an inside look at what's going on here at Minogi so that you can use the decision making that we're engaged in as perhaps some lessons and some case studies for you and your creative endeavors. And that is that after negotiating with our angel investor as to what the terms of his deal would be, what percent of the company, specifically what percent of the company he would be buying for his investment, the market crashed, and he had not yet liquidated. And of course I had some anxiety as to whether or not his interest would remain, and his interest remained, and his enthusiasm is growing for what we're doing. And I like to try to find ways to create good karma early in a creative project, in a creative endeavor, in this case in the founding of Minogi, the starting of Minogi. So it seemed only right to get back to the investor and to show some appreciation for the fact that this investment is now costing him more money than he had originally expected that it would. Because again, he's going to have to sell more of his assets to raise the money that he's committed to invest in the company since the market has been nosediving. And so what I offered to the investor is to increase his stake, to give him a larger percentage of the company for the same investment, to share the cost, to give up a little bit more of my stake in the business so that he can see how much, first of all, I appreciate his continued enthusiasm to invest in the deal, and also, again, just to out of a sense of fairness, out of a sense of basic fairness, that if this is going to cost him a little bit more, then maybe we should give up a little bit more for him, because that's the kind of business we want to be. That's the way we want to operate. Good things happen when you operate that way.